travel warning for Mexico. I'm sorry, I really am laughing. There's a new travel warning for Mexico. Nathan and I are down here running some errands in town, and we see people tagging us.
State.
Yeah, we're in the Doggo State right now. And we see all these people, they're tagging us like, oh, travel warning, 5 Mexican states. And there's like these news stories. Like, here, let me one. Here's one Nathan had up. 5 Mexican states get highest do not travel warning. And you look at these articles. These articles are saying like, this is the equivalent warning of war-torn states like Syria and blah, blah, blah.
It reads, putting them on the same level as war-torn countries like Syria, Yemen, and Somalia.
Ooh. Now, here's the thing. Here's the irony. I've been telling you guys the U.S. spends billions on propaganda. Here's more proof. We've been showing you real Mexico, right? We've been showing you that it's not perfect. There is corruption. But there's also way more freedom. And that it is remarkable. Now, we haven't just been in one, like, tourist district. We've been in, what, 6 or 7 states at least?
Like 13?
Like 13 between the both of us, states and Mexico?
No, just you.
Just me? I've been in 13.
Sonora, Sinaloa, Nayarit, Jalisco, Colima, that's 5. San Luis Potosi, Tamaulipas is 6. Querétaro,
mini
Hidalgo,
states.
You're over 10.
Okay, so I've been in at least 3 of the states on this horrible do not travel warning.
You've been in 3, I've been in 4.
Right, and Nathan's been in 4. And these states, we're talking about having been in these states, camped in them, been down to the square, walking the streets with our children, going to the bakery. Now, some of these states, the states on this list do have some problems, right?
Except Michoacan. It felt downright safe. I mean, there's bad places in Michoacan, but when I was in Michoacan, it was chill as all get out.
Here's the thing, too. It's amazing because, get this, you don't see any travel warning for Vegas. You don't see any travel warning for Chicago or Detroit. You don't see any warning for the fact that in the USA, police execute a civilian every 7 hours. Are you guys understanding that you're being had and your news media is sharing these articles and you're like, oh my gosh, Mexico is so terrible. Are we glad that we're Americans and that we have freedom? You don't have freedom. Does Mexico have problems? Yes.
Lots of them.
Does USA have problems? Yes. And no freedom to top it off. Now get this. Here's how bad the propaganda is. We're looking up this. Not only did not even reference, everybody ignores the fact that the USA is completely unsafe, right? Okay, but Nathan goes and looks at, okay, what's one of the murder rates, let's say, and there's been a fairly high murder rate supposedly in Mexico this year, not in this area here really. A lot of the states, all you hear about is the violence, right? Because it fuels the propaganda. Whereas a lot of these states, like over in here, the state in Querétaro, where we've been the past week or so, is probably the same as like Washington or Oregon. And the other crimes, like rape and things like that, are less generally. So
the other interesting thing, and I have nothing against against other English-speaking countries, but the U.S. hugely favors other English-speaking countries. You could take a country, I don't know, like Belize or something, that has a crime problem. It's a nice place, but it has a crime problem. And its murder rate is actually significantly higher than Mexico's, like 3/4 higher. And it doesn't get a U.S. travel warning. There's a quick little advice. It's like, hey, watch your wallet. But nothing like that. And Belize is an English-speaking country.
Right. So they get the propaganda gets applied less to them.
Right. And Lewis, you're correct. The incarceration rate in Mexico is about 1/3 of the U.S.
Yeah. So I don't want to go on for a long time. I was truly laughing when I read this article and people are tagging it. And they're like, oh my gosh, my family needs to get out of Mexico. And I'm like, you people are delusional. So number one, I'm formally issuing a travel warning for the United States of America. Okay. You can, because I have every bit as much credibility as the U.S. consulate. Is that who issues them? The Department of State has zero credibility to be issuing travel warnings. Our country imprisons the most people of any country in the world, and we terrorize the entire planet. We have zero credibility. So the Gavin Syme travel warning for the United States of America, I'm not going to specify it down by state, just in general for the country, is extreme caution. The police are some of the most violent in the world. The imprisonment rate is the highest in the world, 4 to 5 times higher than Mexico. Comparing to Mexico, let's talk about facts. In the U.S., you are twice as likely to be raped. You are twice as likely, and these are national averages, you are twice as likely to be kidnapped. You
At
are
least.
probably 5 to 8 times more. But like even by the highest numbers in Mexico, you're twice as likely in the U.S. to be kidnapped.
By the most favorable numbers to
yeah,
each
the favorite numbers to
US.
to U.S. and
Mexico's
to the
highest
U.S.
numbers, U.S. is lowest.
Right. So you're countless times more likely to be harassed, extorted, kidnapped by government officials, and just generally abused. You're countless times more likely to be murdered by police or hospitalized by police. In the U.S., the police hospitalize over 50,000 civilians a year, and they kill about 1,200 per year. That is one every 7 hours. There's many nations on the planet that have a lot of issues.
All of them?
Yeah, but you know what? And there's ones that are worse than the USA, I think. But the USA is probably one of the most corruption-torn, violent, and abusive fascist regimes on the planet. All right? So my travel warning is if you're going to the USA, use extreme caution. Watch your back. Watch your rearview mirror. There's not only much crime, but there is incredible police corruption. They're incredibly violent. They're incredibly hostile. Many of the police are hopped up on drugs, and so they lose their temper incredibly easy. They will kill you on the side of the road. My official travel warning for the USA is use extreme caution. And I'm actually presenting facts, while these new travel warnings for Mexico, they're not even really bringing up new incidents. They're just regurgitating bad incidents that have happened in the past.
For example, San Luis Potosi State in Mexico has a level 3, which is not a do not travel, but it's reconsider travel. It's one level lower.
And it's one of the safest states.
Yeah. And that is based on an incident about 4 to 8 years ago. There were 2 incidents. There was a shooting up north, and then then the big one was, I believe it was a DEA officer was murdered.
Right.
And of course both those were terrible, but we're talking like 3, it's based on like 3 murders in like 8 years.
So compare this to the USA, where there's mass shootings and police killings and police brutality constantly, every single day. 2 to 5 people being killed by U.S. police every day. Last year it was 1 every 7 hours. Okay,
yeah.
Right. So just to put a perspective on the propaganda spin, the news media, the government, and they're working together. They want you to believe and share their propaganda. Oh, Mexico is a war-torn country. Well, guess what? I'm going to show you guys. Do something super duper dangerous. I'm going to get out of my car. Oh my gosh, I'm out of my car, on the street. I'm on the street in Mexico. There's gonna be bombs, there's gonna be fire, there's gonna be horrors and terror and death. Oh no, hide your babies and your mothers and your grandmas. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. We got some stuff to do. There's, like anywhere, right? People are like, oh, go to the border towns. Well, yeah, go to the border towns in Texas. You think they're gonna be good? Because why? Where's all this propaganda and where's all the violence really coming from in Mexico? From the U.S. funded, billions of dollars and promoted drug war.
You can look
the
up
war on terror. All of these things are what
Merida
create.
You want to know what the U.S. funding for the Mexican drug war?
What's it called? Plan Merida?
Plan Merida.
Plan Merida. You want to get the facts. So this isn't propaganda you're hearing today. What we're sharing with you today is actual news. Why don't you guys share it and spread it? Give some people some actual news, because you're going to see these articles shared all over. Oh my, new propaganda. The U.S. is trying to destabilize countries that have more freedom than we do, because they want you to think that where you're at and the slavery that we operate on in the U.S. is all there is out there.
Excuse me, the official name is the Merida Initiative. Plan Merida is a mocking name the Mexicans use for it.
The Merida Initiative. All right. Bottom line is, throw out your propaganda. If you don't like propaganda, share this video. Educate some people on the truth. And if you do, I might even go out into a Mexican street again, risking life and limb to prove that the propaganda is a lie.
We should do it sometime when we're in Michoacan. That'd be cool.
I should have done a live stream while we were in
Tails.
Tamaulipas, like the most horrible, dangerous place ever. Like literally they were getting ready for Christmas celebrations. And yeah, Tamaulipas has some more problems. But like all the families and kids were like down playing in the square. It was a totally regular town. All right, guys, we're going to go. Don't believe the propaganda. All the border narratives, all the wall narratives. The wall is only to keep you in, as they are right now using exit checkpoints to keep you from leaving your country. This isn't propaganda. This isn't hyperbole. This is reality. It's time to get in reality. Peace.